It was so interesting. And then, everybody where I grew up in Beverly Hills, okay, it was a nice area. A lot of people had Japanese gardeners, and it was very interesting. I always remember this because this is way back. And their names, our gardener's name was Moss. And I can remember looking out the window at Moss doing the gardening, thinking, is he going to come kill us? I didn't know. I'm only 7 years old. What do I know? But it kind of stuck with us all. And then you remember that horrible thing about it's really cheap. It was made in Japan, the whole story, And yeah. And then when I bought a Lexus, I thought my father was going to shoot me. But he was like 94. I had to drive him down to Beverly Hills to his doctor's office, and he's looking at the car. Okay. What I gave to the Obon Society 2 years ago was this Japanese flag with the beautiful silk fabric, the rising sun. And it had belonged to my uncle, William H. Moran, who was a lieutenant in the United States Navy in the World War II in Japan. And he died at 71 years old, which was kind of young, 1991. And when he would start talking about the war, either to us on his boat or back in the East Coast to my sisters and my cousins, he would stop talking. And he said the war was the defining moment of my life. I don't think he ever really got over it. He couldn't finish the sentence about it, and then he would, of course, start drinking, which was how he finished off. But meanwhile, when we got into conversations about the war, he never, ever mentioned this flag. So when he died, we went over to the house, and we took, pulled things apart to, settle everything. He wasn't ever married. And next to his bed, he had a beautiful Japanese chest next to the bed, the very bottom drawer. Underneath all of this stuff in the drawer, I pulled out this flag. I was stunned. My daughter was 15. Mom, I want that flag when I grow up. I said, okay. So I kept it in my house for years and years. It occurred to me, I will bring this flag to your talk at the Channel City Club in Santa Barbara, May of 2018. Later that day, we had a second reception down at the Yacht Club at the Maritime Museum, and I was able to talk to Keiko for a while, and she looked carefully at the flag, and then on the very long edge of the flag, there was all of this Japanese writing, which of course I can't read, and Keiko said, "This is a man's name." And I quickly thought, yes, Uncle Bill would want you to have the flag. So off the flag went, and then a year later, you called me the day of a family funeral. We're all connecting in Pasadena, and my sister was driving, and you said you had just located the family who had belonged to the flag, and you told me that it was the Sumiya, I believe that was the name of the family, and I believe it was the niece, I am the niece, she was the niece, this was her uncle, it was my uncle, and okay.